Welcome to the very first episode of Dude's Midnight Podcast. A show where once a month we're going to come at you on the fucking full moon and we're going to talk about weird shit. Scary stuff. Stuff that bumps in the night. Stuff that your mom says that's a bunch of fucking lies. Why do you believe that shit? And I said, you don't know the facts, Mom. That's why. Yeah. What up, Kike?
What up, son?
Are you ready for this? Our first
Fuck yeah, let's do
midnight
this.
podcast. And guess what we're going to talk about tonight?
No fucking clue.
Was Yahweh, the God of the Jews, a dragon? An actual, living, fire-breathing, fucking dragon.
No fucking clue. I never heard of such a thing.
Neither had I. But apparently this is like some weird shit that's catching on online. And then the dark web. By the way, I got more viruses. You're going to have to come and clean my computer. It's because I was researching this shit. And I got viruses. But yeah. And me, I started reading recently or listening audiobook of the Hebrew translation of the Torah, first 5 books of the Old Testament, and it's different. And now hearing these crazy theories and shit, sorry, something was on back there, I didn't realize it. Now we're back to a dark atmosphere. Yeah, reading some of this shit, I'm starting to wonder, maybe these people are right. So tonight we're gonna get into it, but before we start exploring about Yahweh, dragon. Fuck you! We're talking a little bit about the dragons, and the history of dragons. We all know it goes all the way back to the time in England. There's all these ancient Renaissance. Hey, fuck you, Kike! Don't be making scary sounds and shit.
I know. I was like, what the fuck?
Trying to scare the people at home and shit. The Renaissance pictures and paintings of knights killing dragons. And maidens, virgins that were sent to be sacrificed to the dragons and were saved by knights. Were all these dragons real and were actually hunted and killed to the point of extinction by the white man? Who knows? But they're in paintings. That only means that they had. I mean, there's no physical evidence, archaeological evidence that dragons existed. There is not. You don't have a bone, a skeleton, or nothing. But why is it all over cultures? In the Mexican Aztec culture, they have a god named Quetzalcoatl. Help me out, Kike.
Quetzalcoatl.
Quetzalcoatl. A feathery winged serpent god that they used to sacrifice virgins twice a year to. You know what I'm saying? And technically we still do it. We fuck virgins twice a year. Take their virginities, the Mexicans, so that's still going on. We just don't tear their hearts out and shit. Well, I guess if you never call them back, technically you do tear their hearts out. Yeah. And we all know that in Chinese mythology, they all talk about dragons and dragon gods and the kings, ancient kings that were descendants, the bloodlines of actual dragons. That's a Chinese mythology lore. And then over there, my Brownskis from another mother in my homeland, when I went to go visit in Egypt, that's me right there. There's inscriptions on the walls, Kike, and they tell of a story of a heavenly winged fiery serpent called the Denwen. And it's all there on the walls and shit, written there. The Egyptians talked about some kind of dragon and shit god they worship. And then we get in Australia, the Aborigines, they have a story of a very large serpent that has like rainbow hues to it, and it would come down and punish them for their sins and shit. And it would fly and also swim and would cause tidal waves and earthquakes and shit.
Damn.
And then none other than in our very own faith, Kike, the Jewish ancient biblical texts. There's drawings of dragons. Some of them even eating little angels and shit.
Oh, wow.
So there's dragons throughout human history. Is that a coincidence, Kiki? Are these things real or are they fake? Are our imaginations? What do you think? Why do so many cultures have dragons in them?
I don't know, man. From a scientific standpoint, I would think if anything, well, not even scientific, but you would think like what's the most plausible thing? You think maybe one of these, you know, dinosaurs survived? You know, like one of these ancient ones survived, and that's probably what they saw back in the day. Like maybe one of those motherfuckers survived all this shit.
I don't think it was one. I think it was a few, like maybe a few thousand. We hunted down and killed them. And yeah, I think that's what happened. That's why, and only a few people knew about them. And then before it became tall tales. Oh yeah, my uncle Juan used to tell me a story. What a bunch of fucking, he was probably drunk and shit. That's probably what they used to say.
He saw the chupacabras.
It's probably drunk and shit.
Drunk and high.
Yeah. So who knows? But let's start getting into this. And we're gonna start with one of the first Texas ancient scriptures. There you go.
Texts.
Yeah. And this is a description of the God Yahweh from the book of Exodus. And usually it involves smoke and fire and shit and a half. I'm gonna play you a little clip here, and the nice angelic lady is gonna read it all to you all, because I'm gonna sound stupid trying to read like God. So we're gonna let this lady read. All right, you ready, Kike?
Yeah.
All right, 3, 2, 1. Right.
And the Lord said unto Moses, Lo, I come unto thee in a thick cloud, that the people may hear when I speak with thee, and may also believe thee forever. And Moses told the words of the people unto the Lord. And it came to pass on the third day, when it was morning, that there were thunders and lightnings, and a thick cloud upon the mount, and the voice of a horn exceeding loud, and all the people that were in the camp trembled. And Moses brought forth the people out of the camp to meet God, and they stood at the nether part of the mount. Now Mount Sinai was altogether on smoke, because the Lord descended upon it in fire. And the smoke thereof ascended as the smoke of a furnace, and the whole mount quaked greatly.
This is one of the first descriptions of Yahweh, the God of the Jews, who freed our ancestors, Kike, from Egypt, from slavery. What a weird description.
That is weird. What do you make of it?
Well, if we are to believe that this is a dragon, I mean, think about it. I mean, they're pretty much describing it there. Loud, thunderous, a lot of smoke and fire coming down on a mountain as he lands, and all the people are scared and quake because he lands because he's so big and shit. It's plausible. I mean, it sounds like they're describing that shit.
Yeah.
Or a big spaceship.
That's another one. Yeah, and it's always like talking about like fucking like loudness and like thunder and shit like that.
Smokes in a furnace. All right, but wait, the descriptions get more and more intense, Kike. All right, here's some more about an Exodus, about smoke and fire, describing Yahweh.
And all the people perceived the thunderings and the lightnings, and the voice of the horn, and the mountain smoking. And when the people saw it, they trembled and stood afar off. And they said unto Moses, Speak thou with us, and we will hear, but let not God speak with us, lest we die. And the people stood afar off, but Moses drew near unto the thick darkness where God was.
The people were afraid of God and to listen to his voice, because it was like a loud roar. And only Moses was brave enough to go into the dark smoke to talk to God. What do you think of this shit?
Well, I mean, I think I heard this in the Bible. Like nobody was allowed. Well, not that nobody.
They were scared.
Yeah,
they were scared. They didn't want to. They told Moses, "You go talk to him. Let us stay down here, because he's gonna fucking eat us, or we're gonna die and shit." They said, "We're gonna die. You go." And Moses all like, "You pussies." And Moses went there with his big nose, and he went in there. Talk to God. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they told me that it was like we couldn't hear the sound of God, because if we hear the sound of God, like, we would be deaf.
Plenty of people heard it throughout the years. It's in the Bible. Look, this is direct quotes from the Bible. That's the way it describes it. In fact, this is the Hebrew translation, not the King James fixed by the Romans and shit.
Yeah.
This is the real Hebrew shit. That's what we get. Yeah, I don't know. It's very, very spooky, if you ask me. This God.
I don't know, man. You need to convince me a little bit more. This is kind of like weird.
All right, we're gonna talk about another quote from Exodus number 3 over here, where he talks about consuming. You ready? 3, 2, 1.
And the Lord said unto Moses, I have seen this people, and behold, it is a stiff-necked people. Now, therefore, let me alone, that my wrath may wax hot against them, and that I may consume them, and I will make of thee a great nation.
Now, this conversation happens when Moses goes up for the 10 Commandments and for 40 days, and the people down there get tired and they make a fake god, and they start sinning. And when Moses is up there, Moses goes back, he comes down and he sees the people and he gets mad and he goes back up to tell God. And this is God getting mad and telling Moses, your people are stubborn, they don't believe, let me just go down there and eat them, burn them and eat them. And then the offspring that you have, Moses, I'll make a nation out of that. Fuck these people. And what the story, what happened afterwards is that Moses begged him, no, because then the history books are going to say that you saved all the slaves from Egypt just to eat them and kill them. And God's all like, yeah, you're right. Fine. Go down there and punish only the bad ones. And they went down there and only killed the bad. Like Moses drew a line and said, all right, who's with God? Step over here. And who doesn't want to be with God? Get on the other side. And the ones who didn't get on the other side, he told Aaron, you and your sons, go kill them. They took knives and killed all the motherfuckers that didn't join. Yeah, they did. Yeah. And so that's how they did. It was either that or God was going to come down, burn, and eat everyone, according to this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Moses was a bad motherfucker.
Well,
bro.
no, God was instructing him, bro.
Damn.
God told him, man, either go over there and settle this, or I'm going to go down there, burn everyone, and eat them. And then only you and your children will live. And Moses felt bad because he's like, man, you're going to look bad in the history books. You saved all the slaves, and then you burned them and eat them in the woods, in the wilderness. Now, this is not sounding like a spaceship or an alien, is it, Kike?
Not the way that you're placing it, no.
Nah, this is in the Bible. It's right there. The direct quotes it's showing you.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, what do you think? This is starting to sound more and more like some kind of creature, or beast, or demon, or dragon.
Definitely not the God that I thought about.
Yeah. All this time, are the Pharisees, the fucking scribes, they've been lying. The rabbis have been lying to us, Kike. I mean, I had my foreskin removed at 13 years old. For what? For some kind of dragon?
You little piece of penis.
Was my foreskin some kind of fucking tribute to a dragon? The dragon gets fed foreskins at the end of the year. Of children.
You must be hungry, dude.
Yeah. This God is very mysterious. Because we got more quotes here. It's also from Exodus. Moses says, I've been faithful to you, my Lord. Let me look on your face. I'm saying it all wrong, but I'm going to let this lady finish it. Here we go, Kike. 3, 2, 1.
And he said, show me, I pray thee, thy glory. And he said, thou canst not see my face, for man shall not see me and live. And the Lord said, behold, there is a place by me, and thou shalt stand upon the rock. And it shall come to pass, while my glory passeth by, that I will put thee in a cleft of the rock, and will cover thee with my hand until I have passed by. And I will take away my hand, and thou shalt see my back, but my face shall not be seen.
Now, I had to go research what some of these words meant, because I'm not smart.
I don't understand shit.
Because I'm not smart like you. I didn't go to college and shit. I don't have a degree and fancy 2-year degree. So I had to go research. And this is basically saying, hey, because he wanted to look at him. He said, you can't see my face. Because if you look at my face, you're going to die. You're going to be so scared. You're going to be so terrified. You're going to pass out and your little heart's going to pop like a little bird. And so God told him, look, over there, there's a fucking cave. Go in there. As when I pass by, I'm going to put my hand over the cave so you don't see me pass by. But then when I remove my hand, you can take a look at my back. And that's all you can see.
So, does he explain what he looked like?
No. Why? What is so secretive about how Yahweh looked? Was he a dragon, Kike? Was he really a big fucking monster?
I don't know, bro.
And he hides in a cloud of smoke that he himself makes to cover himself.
I mean, the fact that I don't know, man. It's so weird. I mean, how can the fucking dragon talk, bro?
What do you mean? It probably
it's
talks.
A dragon.
It talks Hebrew. Think about it.
Oh.
And shit. That doesn't sound like regular speech to me. Like a dragon could talk like that. And the Jews just translated that to Hebrew and shit. Think about it.
You think he was choking on a coal?
He was clearing his throat when they came up with that shit. Well, another ancient Jewish tradition. You should know this. We were both in Jewish school together. The Ark of the Covenant was kept in something called the Tabernacle. And it was something that God, Yahweh, instructed them to build. It was like a big tent made with walls of gold and linen and all that shit. And supposedly they would keep the Ark of the Covenant there. But they would have an altar in front of it. And God commanded them to fucking bring sacrifices to the altar and shit. But I'm going to talk, I want to show you another expert here where they're going to talk a little bit about the description of where the tabernacle, because they were traveling, going all the way to the new land of Judea, Jerusalem and shit, Jordan, traveling, leaving Egypt. So they were going through the desert and they needed to rest, or better yet, God needed to rest. Okay. The story goes that by day they would follow a cloud of smoke, and by night they would follow a pillar of fire. And that's how God was leading them through the desert. And whenever the Lord needed to rest, they would pin up this fucking tent box and they would all rest. And let's read the description of what happened with this box, with this tent. This is Exodus, the tabernacle and smoke. 3, 2, 1.
Then the cloud covered the tent of meeting, and the glory of the Lord filled the tabernacle. And Moses was not able to enter into the tent of meeting, because the cloud abode thereon, and the glory of the Lord filled the tabernacle. And whenever the cloud was taken up from over the tabernacle, the children of Israel went onward throughout all their journeys. But if the cloud was not taken up, then they journeyed not till the day that it was taken up. For the cloud of the Lord was upon the tabernacle by day, and there was fire therein by night, in the sight of all the house of Israel, throughout all their journeys.
So that's a description of the basic concept. Whenever God would get tired, they would build the tent, and the cloud of smoke would come down, and God would go inside the tent. And they would not move until the cloud went back up in the air. God was ready to start moving and going, keep going on the journey. Sounds like to me, a giant dragon is getting tired of flying around in the clouds and he needs to rest.
So I don't know, man. This tent sounds kind of bullshitty. So whoever builds the tabernacle, no one's inside. No one's
allowed
inside.
inside. The only people that were allowed inside were Moses and Aaron and his sons. That's it. They were the priests. And they say that whenever Moses went in, when he came out, he would have to wear a veil over his face. Because if he didn't, it was almost like his face was glowing, radiating, and it would scare the people. And so to stop scaring the people, he would wear a veil. And after a while, the glow would go away, and then he could take the veil off. But when he would first come out of that thing, he needed to wear a veil because he was glowing, like almost radioactive and shit. And people would be scared. Yeah. So yeah.
I mean, you and I could have done that back in the days and say like, let's get fucking high inside of the tabernacle. They're gonna see smoke from the inside, and let's just fucking like put our like cover our face because we're gonna look all fucked up because we've been fucking smoking.
Hey, I've had the same ideas in my head too, Kike. Don't worry, I've thought the same thing. But that still doesn't explain why the cloud would then ascend to, and then they would follow the cloud. Whenever the cloud would get tired, you would build the tent, and it would come down into the tent.
I don't know about that part.
Yeah. Not to mention, if they were flying, if God was leading them by night, they were following a pillar of fire, a dragon, as he's flying, spitting down fire, and they're just following it. It just sounds crazy. Now
that does sound crazy.
Here's another Exodus number 7, talking about what God demanded while he was resting in the tabernacle. 3, 2, 1.
And thou shalt bring the bullock before the tent of meeting, and Aaron and his sons shall lay their hands upon the head of the bullock. And thou shalt kill the bullock before the Lord at the door of the tent of meeting. And thou shalt take all the fat that covereth the inwards, and the lobe above the liver, and the 2 kidneys, and the fat that is upon them, and make them smoke upon the altar. And thou shalt make the whole ram smoke upon the altar. It is a burnt offering unto the Lord.
So, he's asking for them to sacrifice the firstborn ox or bullock. And he's specifically telling them, all right, kill the head in front of the door of the tent so I can see and start savoring and drooling because I'm hungry. And then take the fat and the liver and the kidneys and burn them and make them smoke so I can sniff and smell and get hungry. All right.
I think he wants a carne asada. He wants
yeah. He's been flying for days, leading them through the desert. Feed me, motherfuckers. If we're gonna make it to Jordan, I need to be fed. Yeah. What do you think?
Okay. I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense. Like if the dragon's gonna tell you, hey, I'm gonna tell you where to go because you guys look lost as fuck. Okay.
No, he took them out of Egypt. No, he rescued them out of Egypt. You're gonna be my people, and I'm gonna lead you to a new land.
Yeah. Right? But you gotta feed me, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Yeah. You gotta give me some food.
Yeah.
And tell you, I'm gonna tell you how do I like it.
Yeah.
And how to prepare it
specifically.
Take all the yucky stuff, take it out, and then
burn it so I can smell
burn it. I don't want it, but I like the smell of it.
This is pretty crazy, man. Like so far, we've seen a lot of, and these are actual. This is not taken out of context and shit. Rocco, no, you motherfuckers. This is direct quotes from the Bible down there, the Hebrew translation, and I gotta say, the New Testament. JC, my man. JC said, "If you know love, then you know God, because God is love." Does this shit sound like love to you? Every description we've just read about.
No.
No, it sounds like a fucking dragon. No love. This ain't the God JC was talking about. That's all I'm saying. And then you wonder why they killed him, Kike.
Oh my God.
Why the Jews killed him? Because the dragon got mad. Hey, put an end to that son of a bitch. That long-haired, bearded mother hippie. Put an end to that shit.
Hey, he was a Jew too.
Yeah, but he found out. He's like, I'm not gonna worship no dragon. Yeah. We're worship love. Peace and love, my brothers. That's what JC was talking about.
Yeah, JC was a hippie.
Yeah, he was the first hippie. We're gonna move on into some other shit. But do you have anything, like, any questions, anything that you're thinking? Really, I mean, come on, I gave you direct quotes from the Bible. Weird, fucked up quotes, descriptions of God.
You know, I've heard some stuff, like, growing up in Mexico, like, how, like, most of the northern part of Mexico is surrounded by, like, people of Jewish descendancy. And, like, most of these people on the north side love to make carne asada. So this kind of makes sense. Like, every fucking weekend, you can see the clouds of smoke coming out of the houses and shit, like, because they're cooking food. And it's meat in specific, just meat. That's their main fucking shit they eat.
So, do you think it's plausible, possible even, that the God of the Jews, Yahweh, was a living, breathing, flying dragon of some sort?
The way you put it, yeah, but I mean, I don't know, man.
Not the way I put it. These are the descriptions. The descriptions are making us think this.
I would like a rabbi to fucking talk to us right now.
I think if a rabbi watches us, he's gonna say we're denounced from the church. You're no longer, you no longer can celebrate Hanukkah. You better not tell anybody, motherfucker. I like my Hanukkah. I like lighting every night. I light that candle every night. Another candle. That shit kicks ass. And don't get me started with that little top thing. Oh yeah, I get high as fuck and I'm just spinning that sucker around and around and around.
Dreidel.
Sometimes it lands and I don't know what the fuck that little squiggly line says, but it's badass.
You take two and you take two fucking tokes.
Yeah, I don't know, it's just a squiggly line, but I'm like, all right, that means yes. And I'm like, yeah, I ask it a question. This one means yes, this one means no, and shit.
You idiot.
But anyways, I'm about to blow your mind.
All right.
Because we actually have descriptions of small dragons, maybe. Right? And these are in the Bible. So God gets mad because he's taking the Jews out of Egypt. They're being stubborn. They always complaining. We don't have water. It's too hot. We don't like this manna that you're feeding us. We want real food like the Egyptians would give us when we were slaves. And God would be like, what
That's where all the complaining started.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
And God was always like, what the fuck is wrong with these people? They want to go back to being whipped. And the people were all like, yeah, at least we had a home. We're just walking in the desert over here, you fucking cloud, you know? And God got mad and to poison, not poison them, to punish them. He sent fiery serpents to attack them. Here we go. Fiery serpents. 3, 2, 1.
And the Lord sent fiery serpents among the people, and they bit the people, and much people of Israel died. Therefore the people came to Moses and said, We have sinned, for we have spoken against the Lord and against thee. Pray unto the Lord, that he take away the serpents from us. And Moses prayed for the people. And the Lord said unto Moses, Make thee a fiery serpent, and set it upon a pole. And it shall come to pass that every one that is bitten, when he looketh upon it, shall live. And Moses made a serpent of brass, and put it upon a pole. And it came to pass that if a serpent had bitten any man, when he beheld the serpent of brass, he lived.
So, the story says that the people, he sent these fiery serpents. And they were attacking the children of Israel. And they we're sorry, Moses. Tell him we're sorry. We're scared of him and shit. He's a big dragon. So Moses went to go talk to him and he told him, come on, man, give him a break. He's like, fine. Get a stick and make yourself a fucking image of a dragon or so, a snake or something, a fiery serpent, and put it on the stick. And whoever gets bitten, just look at it and you'll be all right. I promise. So this guy goes and makes a fucking fiery serpent of copper, and he puts it on a stick of a cross. Now this is the very first, when you think about it, this is the very first symbolic imagery of Jesus crucified on the cross. When you think about it.
I was thinking about the whole like, you know how like in medical practices they have like the serpent around like thing?
That's the same. That's
know?
where it comes from. That's where it comes from. Because remember, people were getting bitten and were dying by these snakes, and so the thing was like medicine, whatever the fuck it was. I'm telling you, this was a magical dragon. The magical dragon would put powers on this fucking thing for Moses. You know?
Interesting.
That's in my theory.
That's kind of weird. Okay.
But this is a story that supposedly happened, and
I can only say, dude, I feel dizzy. I just got bit by. Just look at the serpent. Just look at it. You'll be okay. I feel dizzy still. I don't know, man.
Yeah. My leg is turning purple. My leg is turning purple and shit.
I can't feel my fingers.
Yeah.
Damn it! Look at the fucking snake. Okay.
I'm showing an image right now for the winged serpents on the pole, and this is supposedly an image of what this thing could possibly look like. I'm gonna try to rewind it down. And it looks like a little pterodactyl and shit. On a pole, and that's somebody just fucking around saying this is probably what it looked like. Well, I don't know. That's true and shit. I mean, for the most part, people think it was a snake, just a snake on a pole. A dead snake or some shit. But here is an artist. This is something from Israel, the motherland, Kike, and they have this. It's a snake coiled around and on a stick on a pole, and supposedly this is what the staff looked like, Moses' staff. And when you think about it, I mean, that's like Jesus on the cross, but it's a snake.
Well, that actually kind of looks like freaking Egyptian.
Now think about it.
The wings.
Well, yeah, that too. It could be wings. You know, it could be wings. I didn't even think about it. I was thinking a cross. To me, it was a cross. It was a snake on a cross. But now you say wings. Kike, are you starting to believe that maybe this was a dragon? And think about it. What better way to humiliate your enemy but to have them crucified looking like you? Oh, you want to change? You want to change my religion? Crucify him and make him like me.
Make him look like me.
That's crazy.
Imagine they actually like added mechanisms so that the dead body goes like this.
Oh my god. I don't think we're gonna be allowed into church this Sunday, Kike.
Two guys pulling the thing and they're like, faster, faster.
Oh my god, the Roman centurions. Yeah.
They could have done that, or worse things actually.
So in Egypt, they do have an image of a snake, a cobra with wings. And of course, you know, in Egypt it was a lot of imagery and shit. So the odds are there probably wasn't an actual cobra with fucking wings and shit. But here is where I'm gonna blow your fucking mind, Kike.
Okay.
The ancient Greek nerd, historian, philosopher, and fucking probably woke as fuck motherfucker. Because back then, all the motherfuckers were woke as fuck. Kike. They were in orgies all the time and shit. Yeah, they were. That's true.
I know.
So they were woke as fuck. I mean, they went every which way they could. Animals and everything. But anyways, this motherfucker was one of these smart nerds. And he traveled throughout the Middle East, visiting the princes of Persia's in Asia and India and all that bullshit, and just recording. You know, and there's in his book number 3 of histories, there's a very interesting expert when he reached the land of Arabia. Some of the stuff he describes is a little weird. We're gonna start with chapter, book 3, paragraph 107. And I'm gonna read this because I couldn't find a lady to read it. So sorry. It says, they gather frankincense by burning that storax which the Phoenicians carry to Hellas. They burn this and they get the frankincense, for the spice-bearing trees are guarded by small winged snakes of varied color. Many around each tree. These are snakes that attack Egypt. Nothing except the smoke of storax will drive them away from the trees. Now, he says winged snakes.
Yeah.
Now, we all know snakes don't have wings.
Nope.
Now, the first thing that came into my mind was like, all right, because I read a little bit in the past chapters, and he talks about an armored unicorn in fucking Africa. And I mean, I'm dumb as fuck, Kike, but even I understand that that's a rhinoceros.
Yeah.
You know, one horn, he has armor. This is the first time this guy has ever seen this thing. It's a armored unicorn. You know, that's the way he described it, right?
That's funny though. Like, it sounds like he's seen a lot of unicorns, but not a fucking.
No,
like, a
unicorn.
rhinoceros.
See, this is why we're all stupid. It's because the word unicorn doesn't mean horse with one horn. Unicorn means one horn. The word unicorn means one horn. It doesn't mean horse. So
corn, cuerno,
So-
uni,
yeah.
uno.
So he was just describing it. A unicorn, an armored unicorn.
Yeah.
Something with armor and has one horn. That's a rhinoceros. So when this guy said small winged snakes, the first thing that came to mind was a cobra.
Maybe, yeah.
That's what I thought, because I was like, all right. I mean, he's just describing things. There's no way he saw a snake with wings.
Yeah.
So we move on to paragraph 109. And he says, so too, if the vipers and the winged serpents of Arabia were born in the natural manner of serpent's life, it would be impossible for men. But as it is, when they copulate, they fuck, while the male is in act of procreation, while he's sticking it in her, as soon as he ejaculates his seed, the female seizes him by the neck and does not let him go until she has bitten through. In other words, like a regular human relationship. So yeah, the bitch latches onto her neck and kills the male once he impregnates her. Typical. Alright, well, I'm pretty sure there could be snakes out there that they might do this. I know there's spiders for sure that do this. So who knows?
Yeah.
But the next paragraph, the next two paragraphs are gonna fuck you up. Because the male dies in the way I described it, but the female suffers in return for the male the following punishment: avenging the father. The young, while they are still within the womb, they gnaw at the mother, eating their way through the bowels, making their way out. They eat their way out of the mom, the babies. And then she says, other snakes. And then I thought, well, this guy's making shit up. But he's a nerd, so he's being smart and recording. And look what he says, because I thought maybe he's making shit up, and he don't know what he's talking about. He's just assuming. But no, other snakes that don't harm men lay eggs and hatch a vast number of young. The Arabian winged serpents do indeed seem to be numerous, but that is because although there are vipers in every land, these are all in Arabia and are found nowhere else.
Interesting.
So could there have been some type of winged snake that was really bad and luckily would only be born one at a time, and we just eventually got smart enough and killed them all? Or at least the people down there.
Interesting. Because I mean, like, if this guy is like saying truth here, like, then this is not an actual snake, because I mean, obviously snakes fucking lay eggs.
It's some kind of small little dragon, maybe. Yeah.
Interesting. But I mean, even the dragons in fucking Game of Thrones were eating eggs.
Well,
I
Game
don't
of
know.
Thrones is a lie, and this is Jewish history. So, Kike, I ask you now, as we move on here, what do you think about all this? Dragons in general, were they real? Why are they in our history? Why are really smart ancient historians writing shit about winged serpents? And why are the descriptions of the God Yahweh, which is not the God Jesus describes? It's not. This fucking whatever this was that freed the Jews out of Egypt is something weird. It's not
know,
what
man.
Jesus said.
Sometimes I think they were really fucking high. You know how like the burning bush, you know, like was burning? You think like maybe Moses got high in MDMA and he was seeing shit and he thought he was talking to God and shit?
No, I think the fucking dragon was in the cloud, like, and he fucking burned the bush and started talking from the cloud. And this guy thought he was talking to the bush because he's an idiot. Well, he's not an idiot. He's just inferior, you know. Like, I think nowadays, if I were to see a cloud and shit talking to me, I'd be like, "What's inside the cloud?" Like right away, I start asking questions.
Yeah.
What's inside the cloud? Is there a plane? Is there something doing this? What the fuck are you? But they don't think like that. You know, they just they see it and they're like, "Oh my god, it's God."
They see and they accept.
This thing could have been an ancient fucking Anunnaki interdimensional demon-like dragon that decided to take advantage of these people and use them to start slowly controlling the world's economy, music, and Hollywood. And so far, I think they've succeeded, Kike.
You said it, not me.
No, I mean, just a theory, just throwing it out there, just putting things in your mind, see what you think. I mean, come on, say something. What do you think?
I agree to disagree, but okay.
Yeah, but what do you think about all this? We just sort of,
I would,
propose.
dude. I mean, I'm thinking maybe this is like a certain type of animal that we just didn't get to see in our lifetime, you know, and it's just a fucking animal, bro. You know.
Do you think the God of the Jews, Yahweh, was some kind of
Probably
mystical being, dragon?
Probably not a dragon, but a dragon-like kind of creature. Probably huge.
Yeah.
You know. Was it sentient? I don't know.
He could have magical powers.
Were they all high? Maybe back in those days. More than likely, yeah.
I don't think they were high. They were just ignorant, bro.
Yeah.
I think they were ignorant.
Man. I would smoke a lot of weed, man, back then. If I would be bored as fuck, man, especially if I was in the desert.
Think about all these old legends that we're talking about, especially us. You know, us, our other Mexican, our other heritage, our Mexican heritage. We know about Quetzalcoatl,
yeah,
whatever the fucking Quetzalcoatl, whatever. That was also a feathery serpent god that they worshipped.
Mm-hmm.
The God of the Jews did not want them to see what he looked like.
Mm-hmm.
He did not. But Quetzal didn't give a fuck. Hey, give me a virgin right now, motherfucker, so I'm going to eat everybody. So they would bring him a virgin. All these dragons, what if these race of ancient beings, these smart, intelligent, magical dragons who have since died? And the Illuminati hides the truth from us by making us believe that they never existed. That these are fairy tales. Dragons are not real.
Good question. I would have to ask a rabbi. That's why I was interested in getting a rabbi's opinion. But the Quetzalcoatl thing, like if you think about it, it kind of makes more sense because like they call it the feathered serpent, you know. And now, you know how like nowadays people are saying, well, dinosaurs really weren't like they didn't have like skin like that. They actually had feathers. And I was like, all right, that makes fucking sense with the whole Quetzalcoatl thing. You know, like
not to mention, like we said earlier, all the dragons from England, all the paintings, you know, of knights fight, and they said knights would go rescue damsels because the dragons wanted sacrifices, they wanted virgins, and so there were still people that would go tie up their daughters to this fucking entrance of the cave, and so then the knight had to go and kill the dragon so no more virgins would be sacrificed.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, were they real? And the Illuminati has been lying and keeping history, turning history into mythology.
Maybe. There's a lot of stuff. I mean, that I also fucking think about also like ancient fucking like stories that you're like, well, how the fuck do those like get kept around? Like, how can people why don't people just dismiss them? Like, shut the fuck up, Uncle. You're fucking drunk. Stop talking about that shit.
Yeah.
You fucking liar.
You idiot.
You know, like nobody fucking believes you, you fucking liar.
Everyone knows you do drugs, you dumb son of a bitch.
You smoke that fucking burning bush too much, motherfucker.
By the way, you tell that son of a bitch he still owes me $20, Kike. I'm pissed.
But for real, dude, like most of these, I don't know, it's kind of weird. And nowadays, you still find like some pictures of like huge ass fucking serpents, dude, like out there. Like in fucking India and shit, like
in the
fucking,
Congo,
like dogs and fucking deer and shit. So it's not that far fetched that like maybe a long time ago most of these fuckers were still real. Some of these huge fucking.
Do you
animals,
think these ancient gods have long since died and are no longer around, or do you think some are asleep or still conversing with men, instructing them how to run the governments.
Nah, I think they're long dead, bro. If it's the thing that I think, which is a fucking ancient fucking creature,
Yeah.
that
Us
perished a long
intelligent
time ago.
with some kind of supernatural powers, because
I don't know.
it can do things like part waters
Mhm.
and send smaller dragons and make people stare at a rod and be cured. So it had to have some kind of magical dimensional alien power or something.
I don't know. That's
To a certain
I don't
extent.
know. So okay, so let's think about this. Do you think it was a draconian because they're shape shifters?
It could be an alpha. It could be one of the very first fallen angels. You know,
Yeah,
it could be one. 'Cause we don't know what they look like. We
Yeah.
don't know what they look like.
exactly.
It could be one of the first fallen angels.
I mean, you
Yeah.
showed me some of those drawings of the naval ages of that dragon thing, and it looks
Yeah.
like it only has 2 legs, so it looks kind of weird. It was like, doesn't even have wings, or if it does, it has like the very tiny ones.
Entertain me for a little bit. Check it out.
Mm-hmm.
If these were, let's just say, draconians, the
Mhm.
first of the fallen angels,
Yeah.
they all fell here and they all split up. All right, fine. I don't like you guys. Y'all go wherever the fuck you want. Just stay away from my section. They all went elsewhere. They all became gods around the world and
Mhm.
taught whatever they wanted to teach. Similar, but different in some aspects. And they all went to war and killed off each other. Could there still be one or two alive trying to still run the world? The
I
god,
mean, I don't know how long they live. but
Satan,
Let's say that these motherfuckers last for like a long ass fucking
real
time, like,
Satan. Well,
yeah,
think
like
about it. If they're angels,
hundreds of
and
years.
thousands.
Like he's out there like with a big fucking like you know, the rich people.
Yeah, he's in the cave. He's underground right now. They have a whole island just for him by himself. Come on now, the way the world works nowadays, you could hide one of these things. If he was your god, you could.
I mean, presidents have fucking like gotten away with it.
Yeah. So, do you think Yahweh could have been one of these things?
I think it could if
And Jesus knew the truth, and Jesus was all like, "Y'all are wrong. You need to stop worshiping this fucking."
that motherfucker's weird, bro.
Yeah, he's crazy.
That fucking dragon motherfucker, that draconian bitch.
He's making you feed him every Friday and shit. That's not cool.
And the Romans are like, he's onto us.
Yeah. The dragons all like, crucify him. All right, my lord. And they did it. I know where he lives. I know where this alpha lives, dude. In the Vatican,
You think so?
underneath it.
With all the other fucking wizards?
Now he's by himself. Well, I mean, people come and converse with him. The people of Illuminati and shit. But I bet you he lives down there. Where else would you keep a thing like this? The Vatican. I just say the Vatican.
In Italia.
He could be underneath
Vaticano.
He could be underneath Colorado for all we know, or New Mexico. They have fucking facilities down there and shit. They do. I'm saying.
Well, yeah, if you want to hide something where people can't fucking like go inside and check things out, it would be the Vatican, because the Vatican is it's its own fucking city if you think about it. Like Italy has no power over it. They rule themselves.
Yeah, they have their own police and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't fuck
exactly.
around there. You may never be seen again, because they'll feed you to this goddamn thing who wants sacrifices every other day, liver and shit. Cut the head off right in front of my eyes. Some shit in half. What else was he telling them? That was some crazy shit, right? Bring the ox. Let me see you cut the head off right there in front of the tent so I can see.
Let me see just the head.
In front of the door. Do it right in front of the door so I can see, right? I mean, that's fucking weird. This is, I mean, I'm yeah. I think I just lost my Jewish faith.
Shut the fuck up.
I'm officially a member of the Church of Latter-day Saints. Yeah, JC, I'm with you.
Something worse.
JC, I'm with you. I'm just saying, bro.
Fucking, you went with John Smith now.
Yeah. Hey, an angel of the Lord came to talk to him. A dragon talked to him. Oh my god. Well, Giga, any last thoughts about this bullshit?
Not really. I'm just wondering, like, what the type, what kind of like familiarity or what kind of like thing would link this to the Chinese, to the British, to the fucking Mexicans. Like,
Just
talk
that-
about dragons.
Just
so
that
it's
they
kinda
were,
weird.
like I said, they were fallen angels.
Yeah.
All of them a part of a group, but they split up and they all did their own thing. They're similar, but they all set up their different beliefs.
Do you think by fallen angels are like fucking draconians that got exiled
Mhm.
and dropped in Earth?
Yep.
And that's what we call angels.
Yeah.
That's kind of fucked up.
It is. That's why. Yeah. Well, I mean, we can get really deep into the Illuminati and shit, but we did a little bit. But yeah, I mean, this is plausible. I can tell you, man. More reading this more and more, I can just tell you that the God Jesus spoke was not Yahweh. Jesus was talking about something that was pure, love, goodness, caring, and eternal. Yahweh is hungry and angry because you complain too much.
Shit, you talked about love and fucking like being nice to each other, and I got allergic.
Yeah, Kike is a Satanist. He secretly is on every Thursday night. You don't know. Oh my god. You sick son of a bitch. Kike!
No, that was a draconian symbol, bro. That's how they do it.
I think we're
It's
done.
Yahweh.
Yahweh! Oh my god. Yeah, that could be Yahweh. Maybe that is his sign. All this time, Ozzy Osbourne is a Jew? Oh my god. Kike! Why don't you give these guys some kind of midnight, spooky, prophetic advice to take home?
You ever see a fucking draconian? Try not to see him in the eye, because then you're gonna get your mind erased, man.
Yeah, they hypnotize.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think Moses got hypnotized, bro.
You're right. The burning bush. You know what? The burning bush could have been the eye.
Could be.
Yeah. But anyways, we've ranted on, I think, long enough for a midnight podcast. I don't know what we're gonna talk about next time.
Let's talk about the Illuminati next week.
Kike is gonna talk about it. Kike's gonna. Is that what you want to do? Illuminati? I mean, that's
Let's
really
talk
broad.
about Illuminati and
I
shit.
think everything we're gonna talk about in the end leads to Illuminati. I mean, this pretty much did.
Yeah, it's a broader look at everything, so we'll just talk about it.
Yeah.
And see where it lead us.
Yeah. Whatever he said. Anyways, cheers, motherfuckers. We'll catch you on the next full moon.
Cheers.